You are welcome to today's edition of Retirement Clues. We bless the name of the Lord for giving us another opportunity to come your way today. As usual, this program highlights the benefits of retirement and how we need to prepare ourselves in order for us to harness those benefits. I remain the host of this program, Mr. Chusudu Okonta, the publisher of Hispen Online, the promoter of Retirement Clues. Today we have come again to discuss another topic that we feel that will really help us in setting our economy in a better place, and that will still help us to prepare for the future, as we all of us walk towards the future. Thank God that this is another year and the beginning of the new year. Every one of us will have high hopes that this year will be better for us. The topic we are going to discuss today may seem controversial somehow, because we feel that there is need for us to bring this topic up, because from the feedbacks that we have gotten from the previous topics that we have highlighted, we feel that there is need for us to clear some things from what some people have sent to us, and that was what led to the topic we want to discuss today. And the topic says why returning to defined benefit scheme may not be the best option. That is what we want to discuss today. Why returning to defined benefit scheme may not be the best option. Actually, there is difference between the contributory pension scheme and the defined benefit scheme. The defined benefit scheme was, and because of the issues that clogged the defined benefit scheme, that was what led to the contributory pension scheme. But some people have been calling that those people that are within the contributory pension scheme, they have been agitating that they want to go back to the defined benefit scheme, because they feel that maybe the benefit there is better for them. But we want to highlight some things why this may not be the best option for now. But before we go into this topic, just have some news items to share. The first news item we have has to do with this release of fund too. We gather from the pension fund operators that they received a certain amount in the month of December. The amount to settle those people that have died. They call it death benefits. The death benefit was released in December, and according to the National Pension Commission, over 225.89 billion has so far been paid as death benefits since the commencement of the contributory pension scheme. That is over 225.89 billion has been so far been paid to beneficiaries of workers that died while they were working. And then this is a good one. We are still expecting that the beneficiaries will get their money, since this money has reached the pension fund operators. Even we're in line with the one that was still released last time, the two tranches that were released by the federal government, the pension accrual rights. We are still optimistic that before the end of this month, that will be paid to retirees that retired in 2021. Then these are just the few news items we have. Now going to our topic for today, why returning to defined benefit scheme may not be the best option. indeed, some people may not be happy with this topic, most especially those that are agitated. But before, even as we are agitated, we are not here to defend the government or to defend the workers or the retirees. Us is just to put figures, things that we believe that will really help us as government, that will help the workers and help even the retirees. That is what this program is designed for. We are not speaking for the government. We are not here to defend the workers. We are not here to defend the retirees. What we are here to do is to make sure that every one of us as stakeholders, both the government, that is the employees, the employer, are well secured, even the retirees, that every one of us, have a better lifestyle. That is what this program is meant to, execute. And that is why we have come with this topic, that because we've looked at it before the commencement of the contributory pension scheme. The pension liability, which was in the defined benefit scheme, was about 2 trillion naira. And because of this pension liability, that was why many people that retired then, they were not able to get their benefit. That was all those incidences that we saw when people were dying while waiting for their benefits, some while they were trying to process their document, they died, and every day you hear of one corruption of the other, because this money was not there. Because as we know, that the defined benefit scheme was just a budgetary funded scheme, in that the government, we just at the beginning, like this year now that we have started, the budget has been signed into law. They made provisions in the budget that this is the amount we are going to, spend on retirees. But you know how budget works. Budget is just, both income and expenditure, anticipated income and expenditure. It's not that the money is there, but if the money, they didn't realize their projections, the retirees often suffer. And that was what led over the years, what led to the 2 trillion. Imagine, as at 2004, what 2 trillion was. By then, I doubt if our budget was even up to that. But the pension liability was over 2 trillion naira, and that was what led, to the formation of this contributory pension scheme. Even as we speak today, this issue that clogged the defined benefit scheme is still there, because the defined benefit scheme is still running. Is running even with the contributory pension scheme, because those people that retired before 2004, most of them are still alive, and since they are not in this system, they need to be catered for. And that was what led to the creation of a body known as PITAD, which is managing that that system. And we have even seen, even till now, we still hear pensioners protesting that they've not given them their arrears. Even like the military pensioners were protesting last time. Even some pensioners too, if you still go to Nigerian Union of Pensioners, you still see them complaining. Because even as at last time, they were complaining that the federal government is still owing them, pension arrears up to 90.1 billion. All these things are tied to, the defined benefit scheme. But if you even look at it, most of the people that are agitating now, that are saying that they want to go back, to this defined benefit scheme, they are federal government or most especially federal government workers. But for those in the private sector, I think they've actually embraced the contributory pension scheme, and it's working well for them, though they still have their own issues, that the issue that has to do with contribution, remittance, and all the rest. But we know that as the scheme progresses, all those things will be taken care of. And because of these issues that are still with us, I don't think it is really normal for us to go back to, like those that read the Bible say, going back to Egypt. When even people that are there, they are still, protesting, they are still demonstrating. And a good example to know that this defined benefit scheme is not even the best for us now. Most of the states that are still, that have not embraced the contributory pension scheme, that are still within the defined benefit scheme, go there and find out what is happening. As at last count, we learned that over 200 billion is still being owned to workers in the state that are under this defined benefit scheme. And you know that the money is not always there. We know how the federal government is surviving, in funding their project. Most of the money that they are using in funding infrastructure, they are all borrowed money. Thank God that the federal government has, risen up to the challenge now to offset the pension accrual right. But that has not come easily, because like there was a time that even people that retired in 2020, people that retired even in 2018, most of them have not even started assessing their pension. But like the release now that the federal government did not too long, we even learned that that may not even cover the whole liability. That means all the people that even retired in 2021, there's still need for more funds to be released for them to be catered for, And for people to be saying that they want to go back to the defined benefit scheme because that one is more robust, I think is not even the best option for now. I think everybody should work hard to see how we can improve this contributory pension scheme, which is the best for now, instead of just throwing it away and going back to where we are coming from. Let's see how we can work together to improve it. And before we round up, let's just look at the differences between the defined benefit scheme and the contributory pension scheme. One of the difference is that the contributory pension scheme is contributory. The employer contributes, the employee contribute. But in the defined benefit, it's just budgetary, just only the government or the employer that contribute. The employee has nothing to contribute. And if the employer fails to contribute, the employee has nothing to take home. Even those are just an issue that what led to those issues in the past. Because if the employer did not say anything to contribute, the employee will have nothing to take home. Another difference is that the contributory pension scheme is very flexible. Is flexible because now the worker has a stake. He has a stake, because the worker in the contributory pension scheme has the right to choose the PFA where he feels that he should keep his money, or where her money should be kept. And the worker still has the right to move the fund through the RSA transfer system. He can move his fund from one PFA to another. But in the defined benefit scheme, it was not like that. It was very rigid. You don't have, the worker has no say. But in the contributory pension scheme, the worker has a stake. Another thing is the contributory pension scheme is compulsory. It takes care of both the public service and those in the private sector. But in the defined benefit, people that actually gain it then was just those in the public sector, because those in the private sector, because they just said they should set aside budget, and they were just doing it. Many people retired then even without pension. But now it is compulsory, and there is law that makes it compulsory for everybody, both the private and the public sector, to embrace it. Another thing is that it is properly regulated. We have a regulator, the National Pension Commission, that takes care of it, that monitors everything. Unlike before, when it was not just in the hand of government, put it under the pension offices, But now, there is a body that, look at it. Another good thing is that, those that are within this space of the contributory pension scheme, when you are out of job, as we always say, you have access to, 25%. which you can still use to do something for your life. But in the defined benefit, it was not so. The good thing that that associated with this contributory pension scheme is that it is void of fraud. There is no fraud in it, unlike the defined benefit scheme where they was laden with corruption. Even if you go to the state pension offices, you still hear of corruptions, corruption everywhere, but in the contributory pension scheme, such thing is not there. The contributory pension scheme is very transparent, unlike the defined benefit, which was so opaque. Everything was done in secrecy. But this one now, all the figures are made open. The National Pension Commission every month issue, how the investment were made, quarterly, the state how the investment were made, and everything that has to do with the transaction. Annually, they give their annual report and annual account, unlike before when things were just done in the dark. All these things are the good things that associate with the contributory pension scheme, which we must, all of us, work together to improve, instead of just throwing it away, as some people are agitating today, that they want to throw it away and go back to the defined benefit scheme. Then these are just the things we want to highlight today. We still advocate the need for us to look at, most especially now that the Pension Reform Act is being worked on. Every gap we see, those gaps should be closed, and let's see how we can actually fine-tune this thing and make it better for us and for the society. I remain your host, Mr. Chusudo Okonta. Our number still remains 08054269557 and 07033253527. You can reach us through these lines, and through this line too, you can reach us through WhatsApp. If you want to reach us through mail, you can reach us through spenonline@gmail.com. Thank you again for giving us your time. By the grace of God, tomorrow we'll still come your way with another robust topic. Remain blessed.